But it is solid steel, right? There's no buttons, no curves. How many of you, before you came in here, you thought sword swallowing was fake? It had to be a magician's trick, right? I mean, I did too. I saw sword swallowing in the 60s at Foxy Brothers or Carson Barnes Circus. And I thought, there's no way the 50 cents I paid, the guy's going to risk his life and impale himself. But I'm here to change your mind on that. Just to prove that it is a real sword, this is what it's going to do to me. It's going to impale me like this. Well, at least I hope I don't have citrus juice leaking out the other end. But... And this is extremely dangerous. It could kill me. Hope you enjoy it. Citrus juice. Fake head clipper. Just raise one finger, okay? Kids, do not try this at home with your dad's head clippers, okay? My dad always used to tell me, quit using my tools. They hate that. Clifford was renowned for swallowing this implement here. You know what this is? Giant straight razors.
Oh, a giant...
It's a giant straight razors. 21-inch long blade. You see there's no place for the blade curled in the handle or anything. 13 inches of it is blade down here. I always lick the blade to lubricate it. Obviously I can't lick this one this way. And not a big smile. Okay.
No.
Come to see a head clipper swallowing or razor blade swallowing. Now, one of the things that the Bruce mentioned in their articles is that I always show some different techniques of sword swallowing. So I'm going to try one here that kind of a different technique, a different way of inserting the sword. I'm going to try to do this no hands. And I may need your help with this one. Could help me out. Alright, now for the rest of you in the remedial section of the audience, when I go like this, you're supposed to count with me. If you know the words. Let's practice, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Lost 2, but this is called the drop. Like to know where the blade really goes.
No, I want to know how you do it.
Do we have any doctors or nurses in the medical community here? A doctor, nurse, brain surgeon, what are you? You're a throat specialist. Hopefully I don't need your services, but
I have my back in the car.
and what are you?
Brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon. No, I ask that every time I've never been a brain surgeon. I've been a brain surgeon and a rocket scientist. Now you've met a sword swallower. Boy, we're going to have fun at the next cocktail party. Well, in medical terms, and I'm not a doctor, but I'll try to. My mom is an RN, a nurse, and my dad was an X-ray technician. And I studied Grey's Anatomy, and I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express. But in medical terms, what I'm going to do, and this is about a 20-inch long blade or so. In medical terms, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the blade into the oral cavity, right, over the tongue, get to the cervical esophagus in the back of the throat, press the gag reflex in the back of the throat, right? That's the first thing everybody thinks of as a gag reflex. Then I go through the hiatal ring up here, behind the combination laryngeum, the cartilage that protects the Adam's apple here, behind the pharynx, I'm sorry, the cartilage that is the Adam's apple, that protects the pharynx, or the larynx, the voice box. And at this point, the blade can go in one of two different directions. It can either go down my esophagus and into the stomach, or down my bronchial tubes and into my lungs. Now, in my case, I really hope it goes down the esophagus and into the stomach. So what I have to do is flip open my epiglottis and find the right placement, the right alignment to get it into the epiglottis. Then I have to repress the peristalsis reflex, which is 22 or 50 pairs of muscles from here to here, but about 22 pairs of muscles that force the bolus of your food down into your stomach. It kind of squeezes your food down in. So I have to repress that so I don't swallow, and open that up wide. Slide the sword into my thoracic chamber, the chest, between the lungs, and I run into a little organ here in the center of the chest cavity known as the cardiac muscle, or the heart. Okay? The highest concentration of blood vessels in the human body. It's about, 4 or 5 inches long or so. And the esophagus actually curls around the heart, around the back of the heart. So what I have to do is I actually have to straighten out my esophagus and nudge my heart over to the left a little bit. So if you watch very carefully, those of you in the front row, you might be able to see my blade with my heart like this, because it'll be leaning right on the heart, separated by about 1/8 of an inch of esophageal tissue, right? Is that correct? Absolutely. Okay. So I'll nudge my heart aside, press the peristalsis reflex, go past the sternum, past the breastbone here, pass through the diaphragm, past the liver and kidneys, relax the lower esophageal sphincter, which is a really tight rubber band-like thing that closes off your stomach to keep the acid reflex from flexing in. Okay? Relax that, slide the blade down into my stomach, repress the retch reflex in the stomach, okay, and go all the way down to the duodenum or the duodenum. If I go further than that, I'll go all the way down to my fallopian tubes. Kids are like, what? Yeah, I won't go that far. Now that's in medical terms. Now in common terms, in plain old English, for all the rest of it, I'm going to ramble about 2 feet of cold hard steel down my gullet and tickle the bottom of my tummy. Let's see if I can do this one. Is there anybody here who still thinks sword swallowing is fake or trick? Should have given you a little bit more data on it. Now this sword here is about a 36-inch sword with about a 24-inch long blade. This one will go down about to my belt buckle here, or to my belly button or so, if I do everything right. And, sorry, would you check this one out to make sure that it is real? Does it look like a real blade to you? We have your fingerprints all over my meal. Hang on to that. Hang on to it. Come right on up here with me. All right. I'm going to have her kind of be my audience volunteer. I'm so glad you volunteered. What I'm going to do now is 3 times more dangerous than regular sword swallowing. Danger number 1, when I attempt to drop the blade into my body, no hands, like this, okay? So we know 29 people that have died doing this. I've ended up in the hospital a couple times. Danger number 1, drop it into the stomach. Danger number 2, while I've got the blade in my stomach, I'm going to attempt to double my body directly in half and bow at the waist like this. Hopefully without impaling any internal organs. Okay? Then, if any of you would like to have photographic proof that sword swallowing really is real, this is your chance of a lifetime. Take out your cell phones, your cameras, get a snapshot of this. What I will do is I'll bow this way, come all the way down. You can see all the way down the blade, all the way down to the pit of my stomach, and this way. Snap a picture, but I'll be coming around this way, and then, what is your name? Cynthia. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Cynthia gets to be the one to extract the blade from the pit of my stomach. What that means is, when I come around to you, you'll take the blade and just pull it straight out like this and hold it right over your head, and everybody will give you a big round of applause, okay? Really, you've got the easy part here. So when I come around, okay, don't wait. I mean, pull very quickly. If you wait, my stomach can retch and it can puncture against the bottom of the blade. So don't wait, pull it out fairly quickly. But not too fast or it'll slice the sides of my throat. Just at a medium speed. Okay? So whatever you do, when you don't scrape up my backbone, don't go like that. Pull straight out like this. Whatever you do, don't do this. Don't go, okay? It's not a joystick, okay? And don't go like this, don't push. You got it? You think you can do that? All right, good. That's right. All right. This is 3 times more dangerous than regular sword swallowing.